thought I lost her. And I was really scared, sad. It's a snowy morning. Again. Do we love the snow? We love the snow on a snowy morning. Guys, we have a fresh coat of snow here this morning. A couple inches, only two, like, yeah. So I just put Daniel on the bus. The kids had a 2-hour delay. And we have our weekend nurse came to fill in, and she's going to go to school with him. But she's been with kids who go to school before. She does that with a couple other kids. So hopefully they will do a good job showing her around. I'm sure she'll be fine. But it's a short day. Dana won't be there too. But I figured it would be a good day to let her meet the school, you know, in case she has to do it again. Flu has hit a few people really hard, but I feel grateful. I actually have to go to work today in a few minutes. I'm just walking the dogs here before I go. They called me. There's like, every once in a while we have corporate visitors, corporate meetings and stuff, so it's not a big deal. I don't mind. I like going, actually. Come on. It's just getting out the door. It's always the hard part. Crazy. But it was nice. I got to make Thomas's breakfast this morning because he was going to school late, and it's pretty out here. All right, crazies. You're all snowy now. It's like sticking to them. Okay, I'm getting dizzy. We're on the short leashes. Come on, stop. Stop. Stop it with the wrestling. Do you see what you're doing to me? Hi. Oh, geez. Nut job. I want to go inside. Come on. Oh my God, here we go again. Come on, let's go. So excited about the snow. Yesterday was really insane. I didn't vlog after, I don't know, in the afternoon because I came home from work, and this is quite a story. I came home from work and I took the dogs out like I do all the time, and just as we were coming back in the door, neighbor was walking a dog down the road, and the dog pulled away from her, and it was a pretty, you know, like a large sized dog. I don't know what it was, but it jumped the fence out here by the rock wall, like, and it ran right up to my door where I was standing with the dogs, and it started fighting with Henry, and then they were tussling and their leashes were getting tangled, and Henry was like rah, 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 and then Holly was crying, and it was just insane. And I'm like, lady, get your dog, you know. And they were just all excited, and then Holly got out of my grasp. Her leash got dropped because I was wrestling with because the dog was like, I thought it was biting Henry, and I don't know, it may have bit him a little bit, but I couldn't see anything bleeding or anything on him. But I got Henry in the house, turned around to get Holly, and she was gone. She had darted off across the yard because she was scared. So the lady got her dog and left, and I went out looking for Holly, and I couldn't find her. I couldn't find her anywhere. And I called John, and he came home, and we looked and looked. We posted on Facebook, and we called everybody and we looked and it got dark and it got cold and we still couldn't find her. It was 7 hours long, the search for Holly. I can't even tell you. I thought she was gone forever. And friends of ours came over at one point and said, he's like, do you mind if I walk around in your yard? I'm like, oh my God, go. And he was tracking her footprints. And she had the leash attached to her, right? So she was making a funny pattern in the snow of her little footprints dragging the leash. So they started tracking where she went. And we realized that instead of going where we thought they went out to the road, they actually went around our house and through the woods. So she went kind of the opposite direction of where I initially started looking. So that was kind of my fault or so to say in the beginning, because I started looking that way thinking she ran that way, but she actually ran around the house. We later found out the tracks went into the woods, and so they followed the tracks and got down to where we usually go for walks. This was like late, it was like 10, and they spotted her. We had basically said, you know what, we don't know how much more we can do. But once they spotted her, it was like we knew she was out there running around, and it was really cold last night. It was like under 10 degrees. So anyway, long story short, they followed the tracks. The tracks led along this fence in this one family's yard, and they got to the point where the tracks ended. There was a tree and a garbage can, and there she was sitting in between, and John went one way and Tom went the other way, and they looked, and he's like, she's right there. And there she was sitting by this tree. She was soaking wet because she ran through a brook. She went over the rocks. She went through the brush and the trees, and how she didn't get tangled is amazingly crazy. But here she is. Oh, Daniel's home. Come on. Just missed Betty. Betty brought us some cookies.
Ooh.
She, I know, we're so paranoid of them going outside.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Cookies make it all better, huh? Hi. Hi, Nina. Hi, Tom.
Sorry. I was telling the story and then Daniel came home. Anyhow, the long story of the long cold night. You know, what happened was we were focusing so much more that way and like in general sweeping the woods that she actually went that way, which if you keep going it comes out to the dirt road that we walk on, and that's the direction she ran. If I had come around the other side of the house when she first was missing, she probably would have been right over here somewhere, but I went the other way because I thought she ran towards the road. Anyway, it was really insane, and so many people came to help, and Facebook is incredible. The dog warden came over, people from all over town. There was, I don't know, at one point, I don't even know, 20 cars slowly riding up and down the road, and people with big giant flashlights. But what the key was the good old tracking. You know, my friend came over and said, let's study her prints. And they did, and they found them, and that's what led us to her, obviously, because eventually she slowed down, and then they spotted her. And once they spotted her, and we knew she was there, you know, because they kept saying, look at all of the tracks. She's definitely not been picked up, you know what I mean? Like, she's definitely running around. Thank God for my friend Tom, because he really helped John a lot. Like, he encouraged him, and just they did it together. I mean, we weren't going to stop looking for her. Like, it would have been an all-night thing. I mean, we would not have stopped looking until like there was absolutely no chance of finding her. So, especially when they spotted her and we knew she was there somewhere. So more people were coming out when we knew that she'd been spotted over in Zor, because there was a lot of concern because it's cold and there's a lot of wildlife, because that whole area is wooded. There's coyotes, there's fox and everything else, and the coyotes are really active right now. So I don't know, and a lot of people who couldn't help were praying, and I told my neighbor, she just came over with a plate of cookies. I said, you know, She had a little protection bubble over her because they just don't understand how she had this leash on, and how running through the woods, how she didn't get stuck on, you know, the brush or a branch or something. It's very wooded and messy and swampy and look like that, you know. But she went right that way. And she was wet and filthy, but she was okay when they found her. So if you're one of those people who was sending me messages of care and prayers and everything, thank you so much. It was a hard night. I was out here and I was like, God, please find my little puppy, because, you know, this is just too much to bear right now. I was like, I can't even, like, I thought I lost her. And I was really scared, sad. And it just happened so fast, you know, it was so traumatic. She just was gone, and by the way, Henry seems to be perfect. The dog and him were scuffling. I heard some yapping and biting, and I don't know. I didn't see any bites, so. Come on. Come on. Let's go. This way. Well, here she is. She's a scrappy little sucker. She's okay. Life seems quiet sometimes, you know. And I don't know. People around here just love their dogs. And when someone loses a dog, it's like an Amber Alert. The whole town goes on alert, and people just, it's just amazing. So, especially if the dog like runs away kind of thing, because sometimes it happens. Because a lot of people don't around here let their dogs just run, because it's dangerous. It's more dangerous than, I mean, it's bad when you're near a highway, but if you're near, you know, wildlife, it can be dangerous too. So, as nice as it is to live in the woods, I've been standing out here today going, you know, yeah, maybe I'll enjoy a nice small plot of land with a pool and a fenced-in yard someday instead, because I'm tired of this. Anyway, I had a hard day yesterday, so I was so tired this morning. I got up, got Dan off to school, laid down with these guys. I think I took a couple pictures. Both of them were exhausted, because Henry was walking with me and I was having him, you know, with me, so maybe she would see him and come running, hear him barking or whatever. But she was just like bolting, you know. They get disoriented, and when she saw the guys coming at her with the flashlights, she ran away because she was scared. And so at least they knew she was there, like I said. And that's that story. And now she's back, and she's here, and we're so grateful and traumatized and tired, and she's my little girl. You never know. You never know what's going to happen in life. What are you doing? Don't eat that. Come on.
From the house next to the Merricks, right? He came straight across the street and went behind that house on the corner of Zor Road, right?
Yeah.
And then Tom said, these tracks lead around the back of that barn, and that's how he got up there, most likely, right? She got up there. So then I said, but there's another set of tracks here.
Are you resting after your school day? You look good. You had a good day at school. Daniel had an excellent day at school. Oh, my camera. Daniel had an excellent day at school. his coughing is pretty much gone, and he's kind of tired. The nurse had to leave a little early for an appointment, so I'm gonna hang out with him for a little while, and then we have a to do yesterday, and then, but I'm just tired. It's been a little difficult for me. And, like, by this time at night, hey, I know, we're all hyped up ever since yesterday. Stop, Henry. I love you. Be a good boy. Yeah, you. I'm losing the battle. They're a little yappy. What can I tell you? Because cars keep coming up and down the driveway. Anyway, my neighbor brought us cookies. That was nice. She made cookies. And I've had phone calls this afternoon, the warden, the police, everybody, and just, you know, most people actually found out via social networking. And, you know, for people who are just not Facebook, when you have an emergency or there's something, you know, of great importance, that's when Facebook has real value, especially around here, because we have like this dog alert that goes out when someone loses a dog or an animal, or, you know, not so much a person, because that would be something else, but especially dogs. And everybody knew about it, and I need to look and see and make sure I updated the story of what actually happened, because a lot of people were like, how did you find her? Anyway, I have one special person to thank. I mean, everybody to thank. Everyone who helped. Oh my gosh, even if they just drove up and down the street. It helped slow the traffic, and it brought more people, you know, interested in helping. And, you know, at one point I was just so distraught. I was like in tears, just sort of wandering up and down the road. And I was so tired. And then the nurse had to leave, so I couldn't go outside with everybody. And then I would take turns, and then Dale, Thomas would come in, and I'd go out. And John came home from the gym in his shorts and never stopped looking. I mean, the guy has like frostbite on his knees. So many people I don't even know were like, hi, are you the one looking for a dog? You know, what can we do? Where can we go? And we had people in the woods, we had people on the roads, we had people over there. It was just amazing. So anyway, I'm gonna get my laptop, sit in that chair right there. Hi guys. Hi. You're a good girl. You're a funny little girl. Yes, you are.